All right, everyone. We're live. We've got Royalsabk here, TTI team member. Royalsabk. So I just got on here. Apparently, they started a few minutes ago. So we're still in game one, but we are a bit far in, and I'm getting the news out. All right. So Royalsabk's on Palp1 yellow. Dnaiel here is on Han green. So, I mean, this one could definitely go long. Ooh, sorry. All right. This I've never used this mod before, so getting used to it. All right. So assessing the board state, Han just flipped and he's got a Kira. Looks like the call was Emperor's Royal Guard. Royals on 6 resources. He's got a Confederate Courier out here. Dnaiel going to play a tech out of the resource row here. This is a pretty formidable setup for Dnaiel. In Royal, it looks like doesn't have all the tools he needs to respond to it immediately, but at the same time, Dnaiel's running low on cards in hand. So if Royal can manage to stabilize, then it's possible he comes back here. And Palp1 flips next turn, but looking at this hand, like, that's rough. He can play, a couple things here. But he's even going to come out here revealing Enfys and Change Heart. I actually haven't read Enfys in a while. Oh, it's a bouncing card. Enfys is really good here. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of her. Dnaiel's on 7 resources, so he could play the Enfys this turn. But Change of Heart is also, like, a big thing that you do want to get rid of eventually. It's going to be the Enfys, it looks like. Dnaiel picks up an L3, which is definitely a lesser card here. Royal can trigger the Palp1 off of this Bayesian, which would allow him to get a damage onto tech. All right, Hotshot Blaster coming out of the resource row. Dnaiel's turning on the aggro here. And it's Royal's turn, and he's going for... Is that the P38? That's another way to get damage onto a unit to steal with Palp1. Cloud Rider from the row with tech, clearing the Bayesian. I mean, all things considered, like Royalsabk's not in the worst possible position here. He's gonna take 5 more here. 15 on base. Things gonna start swinging his way next turn though. Once his Palpatine flips. No sounds. There should be sound, right? Okay, good. So I'm just focusing on trying to get the lists up when we eventually go to sideboard so I can get them in. All right, there we go. We're gonna have lists when we go to sideboards. All right, and Palpatine's gonna flip here, stealing that tech. And now, you know, being a threat to this Han or this Kira. Dnaiel did pick up a Han unit of his own, which can clear the tech, but it doesn't clear Palpatine. Royals also got this Confederate courier in the air, which can be good Palpatine fodder. Whew. But it looks like before anything else, he's thinking about getting an attack in with Han. Actually gets the attack in with Kira, interestingly enough. I mean, that leaves... So it leaves the Han vulnerable, but it also... it's also kind of a bait play, because if Royal goes for it, and he hits into this Han, then he's vulnerable to the Han unit, clearing the Palpatine. So it's kind of devious in that way. There's the battle droid. This mod does have nice battle droid tokens. All right, yeah, there's the Han. Going to clear that Palpatine right away. Now, Royal's got reinforcement walkers, which would trade into Han next turn well, and get some health back. It is a bit slow here because it will enable Han to get a hit in, and if Dnaiel can get like a surprise strike, it would trade into the walker, you know, and live. The other board layout is easier to see the play cards, feels a little too zoned out. Yeah, that's my thinking. But the players like this mod, so we're just gonna use that one. Ooh, restore reinforcement walker comes in, shows a devastator. Royal decides to throw it away for health. He does need all the health he can get at this point. I think, you know, it's definitely possible to win the game without Devastator. But Devastator is just a really good card here. If anyone is confused about the cards on the board, Royal's got a reinforcement walker, a battle droid token, and tech that he stole with Palpatine. And Dnaiel's got Han Solo, Kira, and the Kira called reinforcement walker. And then we've got Change of Heart into Change of Heart. That's the first time I've seen that one happen. All right, 6 into base from the Han. And then I imagine that Royal's probably going to... Okay, he decides to walk the Battle Droid token into Kira instead of Palpatining it. Which doing that conserves the resource, which means he gets to play Royal Guard this turn. He doesn't get the card draw from the Palpatine ability, but perhaps he thinks, you know, getting that Royal Guard out is just too worth it. All right, Walker's going to run over that Han. Ooh, another Walker. Two big cards now thrown away by this Walker to get more health. But Royal's in now a pretty strong position. Oh, he goes for the Bazine. So now, I mean, if the plan was Bazine, I'm not sure why he didn't throw the droid with Palpatine. But Bazine here clearing out U-wing reinforcement is pretty big. And then onward we go to new round. And Dnaiel's not drawing what he needs to get back into this. Thanks for the content. Thank you for the audience. All right, here's Kira from Dnaiel. How many? So Royal's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 resources. Okay, so he calls Barrage here. Which, I mean, Barrage is like the main out to the Kira, so it makes sense. Although it does hurt to allow the second Walker to hit the board this turn. All right, there's a DJ just for the stats. Actually, I mean, if Royal really wants to, he can play this Barrage this turn under Kira, but I don't think he's going for it. I don't think he needs to. Dnaiel going to resource that DJ. Maybe he's got a tech in the resource row that he can bring in here. And there's the Reinforcement Walker. The second one. A second Reinforcement Walker has hit the Forest Moon of Endor. And Royalsabk, he was up to 21 on base. Now he's way down to 12. With double Walkers on board. Oh, L3. Yeah, that was the play with the smuggle there. Not quite as good as tech. All right, Hotshot Blaster picked up. Could be relevant. But it looks like Dnaiel's just going to scoop it up. And Royalsabk taking his first Top Cut match. I believe this is Royal's first Top Cut appearance. I think he's been like 17th before, but this is his first time actually making the cut. Dnaiel's a veteran. He's played in many of these. Let's take a look at the deck lists. This is Dnaiel's. It looks like a pretty tight Han green deck. He's on Now There Are Two of Them, which is it's a new card. And he's on Emphas also. Emphas got, Bazined in that last game, so we didn't really get to see much of her, but she could be massive. She's one of those cards that can, come out and really take over the game. 3 home ones, 3 main decked. As for sideboard cards, I think we're going to see the Reinforcement Walkers come in, probably the third Change of Heart as well. I don't know what goes out here. It's hard to tell. On Royal's side, this is his list. It's Palp1 yellow. And remember, if you want to check out any of these lists and any of the lists from the top cut, you can do so in the description on Substack. But this is running all of the classic yellow-green mid-range cards. That's, I mean, Boba Green was known for running a lot of these. But he's also got some new stuff in here. Like he's got Poggles, Confederate Couriers, Droid Commandos, and the P-38s as well. Notably, he's not running Cad Bane. We talked about it a little bit, him and I. He just found that it wasn't serving the roles that he needed it to sometimes. He almost ran it in the sideboard, but decided against it. In a matchup like this, looking at his sideboard, it's hard to tell what's going to come in. Maybe you see the third Change of Heart. It did, come up in the first one. I imagine we're going to see Palpatine's returns, maybe Relentless's. Like, I mean, the Han deck doesn't run a ton of events, so Relentless is not as important, but if you might just want more big things. So we'll see. Let's take a look at the bracket. Winner of this one is going to face our number 1 seed, Dylan, on Krennic ECL. All right. Here we go. Game 2. And Royal gets the Poggle, and he's got resupply as well. Dnaiel he's got Tech. Remember that one for later. He's also got a Spark of Hope here, which, I mean, you can't play it turn 1. All right, there's Cloud Rider. That's going to be the turn 1 play. And Poggle is going to be the answer from Royal. Royal picks up another ramp card here, this Super Laser. So now he's got multiple different ways to ramp. He's also got this P-38. He doesn't have initiative, so the P-38 is not as strong, I think. But if he had initiative, like going P-38, kill your Cloud Rider, seems pretty solid. But the Cloud Rider is just going to crash itself into Royal, and he's probably glad he resourced that P-38 now. And yeah, here's the classic play. Super Laser, Poggle makes a Battle Droid. And both players have their ramp, with Spark of Hope coming down for Dnaiel. If Dnaiel wants a second ramp, he can go for it with this resupply and get to Han this turn. And Royal's still behind. Royal does have a second ramp card in hand as well. So it looks like Royal just led with a Battle Droid attack into the base. And Dnaiel's debating what to do. It looks like he's going to go for a resource here and, into the flip. He doesn't have a 7 in hand, but he's got Tech in the resource row that he can play after the Han flip. All right, there's the Han flip. Gonna get smacked by Super Laser. All right. In addition to the tech and the resource row that we were talking about, Dnaiel also has this Kira in hand. All right. So Cloud Rider coming down for Royal, which is going to set up, set up Han at 5 damage. And that means Royal can claim, and he's got, 7 ways from Sunday to kill this Han with one of the Battle Droid tokens, with the Palp ability, or with the P38 in hand. But Dnaiel's got some big cards in hand here. He's got Ewing and Han1. He's going to go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 resources. So he's going to be able to play this Ewing. Not going to get to Han1 because the Han's going to die here. And Han dies to the straight up Battle Droid attack, so he's saving the Palp ability for now. All right, here comes the Ewing reinforcement. And this could be a big play for Dnaiel. He sees both Emphas and Han. Both of those could be could swing the game here. He could go like Bright Hope plus Falcon, Bright Hope plus Tech, Tech plus Falcon. Getting a Tech on the board. I can't remember everything he's got in the resource row, but it could be impactful. But I think he's probably just going to go for one of these 7s in the end. Although maybe he doesn't want to go for the 7s with the Palp flip imminent because he doesn't want to lose one. And it's going to be Emphas here. And Emphas is going to force back that Poggle. But Royal's got 7 resources. He's got lots of ways to put damage on this Emphas. And he's just going to start by reestablishing the Poggle. And then going for the P38. And then throws the damage into the Kira with the Palpatine. So now Royal can steal either of these units next turn with the Palpatine flip. On the other hand, Dnaiel's got Han1, which could be massive here. But first he's going to go Emphas into base and bounce something. It's going to be bouncing the P38 here. I suspect we're going to see Palp to steal the Emphas, and then, or actually first you probably go Vader into Kira to stop the hit to base. Yeah. And then you steal Emphas. And then Royal's golden, right? He's got Reinforcement Walker in his hand to stabilize even further. And he's going to pull the Bazine off this Vader to stop even the Han1 from coming down. And we could be looking at a swift 2-0 here for Royal. And of course, the battle droid generated by Poggle. All right, and looks like Tech out of the resource row. Gonna be Dnaiel's attempt to get back into this one. Here's Palpatine. Going to steal that that Emphas. Now, what does Dnaiel have to follow up this tech with? And it's going to be Cloud Rider. That's not bad, but the Cloud Rider doesn't really kill anything. All right, he gets to put 3 into Vader, leaving Vader with 1 left. Palpatine's going to run over the tech and throw the battle droid in to finish him off. Getting another card draw for Royal in the process. And it's a barrage. And at this point, Dnaiel's a dead man walking, I think. I mean, maybe this Ewing reinforcement can change things, but Royal's so far ahead on board state and on cards in hand that it's just... And he's taken so little damage that it's hard to imagine Dnaiel coming back here. But that's, I mean, if it's going to happen, that's step 1. Cloud Rider finishing off the Vader. And now Royal's just dirtling. Ooh, it's going to be Change of Heart. What's the wording on Change of Heart? Oh, it's at the end of the turn, Dnaiel's actually going to get the Emphas back because it returns it to its owner. That's tricky. I didn't realize that was the case. That actually, I mean, that's an opening for Dnaiel, for sure. Royal responds with Change of Heart. I think that's wrong. I think you probably just need to barrage it. Is he going to throw it with Palpatine? Is that what's going to happen? Yeah, he is. Did he forget to attack with it first? Okay, I don't know what's going on. I mean, like, Change of Hearting and then throwing it is fine. Maybe it's worse than barraging it, but... No, I mean, I think he got the damage in, right? Because that's... Wouldn't be that high if he didn't get the damage in. I guess they were just moving fast. All right, Ewing reinforcement here for Dnaiel. He's got the DJ to follow it up with, so he's going to be able to use all his resources this turn. Let's see what he can get. He's got an Emphas that he can pull. He's also got a Han Solo. He's got, I mean, you go for a couple lower ones. One thing that does hurt here is seeing both home ones and knowing that they're going onto the bottom of your deck. Because, I mean, home one is your real comeback card in this matchup. And one's already been discarded, so seeing the other two go away like that gotta hurt. But at least the Poggle is gone here. All right, and there's the DJ. All right. So Palpatine's going to go into base, throw the Bazine at Han. That leaves Han open to getting Vadered here. Yep, and that's what's going to happen. And, like, let's just look at this card advantage-wise. Royal's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand, 2 on board, soon to be 3. And Dnaiel's got 1. And he follows it up also with a Confederate courier here. All right, and onward we go to another round. And Dnail's got nothing here. Royal does technically have lethal this turn. Dnaiel maybe's got a way to stop it. He can go DJ into this Vader. But actually a barrage gets Royal there. Tech coming out of the row here for Royal, or for Dnaiel, sorry. I imagine we're just going to see barrage and then attack for game. Barrage, yep. Kill that tech. And that's it. And Royalsabk moving on to the top 16. Congratulations. I'm totally unbiased here. But we've got one more top 24 match to go. Grand Lotus versus La Loupe. It's going to be played on Sunday at 5 a.m. Pacific time. Buku and Two Moons has actually already been played. It's just I've got the video by Sir Raf who recorded it, and I'm going to record commentary over it and post it at some point. So that'll be up eventually. And then we're moving on to top 16 matches. We have the first one actually scheduled for tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. So thank you all for tuning in. Tune in more over the weekend. And remember to always take the initiative.